Thanks, Jacob. And thanks everybody for joining us for another virtual fundraiser and for your continued support over the years of our mission. My name is Brendan Mitchell and I oversee the real estate and finance operations here at UNHP. Over the years, we have shared our advocacy work around more equitable water and sewer rates, rising insurance rates, and a number of other operational costs that affect affordable housing. We have continued to study these issues and share information with mission-based affordable housing providers throughout the year. And while we continue to push for change on our own, we have also changed the way that we raise these issues with government agency and policymakers. In June of last year, we were actually invited to join a coalition of over 20 nonprofit affordable housing providers known as the Community Development Advocacy Committee, put together by UNHP. We were grateful to be asked to join, and our work with this group includes discussions around the New York City housing lottery, which Jamelia shared about, tax credit allocation, insurance rates, everyday operational issues that we feel disproportionately affect community-based housing, and being part of the group has really proved to be worthwhile at a number of levels. As a group, we're able to advocate for changes directly with the Commissioner of HPD and other decision makers in a way that we think produces results at the city level as well as internally. We're able to share resources and experiences and recommendations for navigating this sort of new and increasingly difficult landscape of affordable housing development for nonprofits. Another focus of ours over the past year has been increasing our efforts to incorporate renewable energy into our housing portfolio. For us and many other mission-driven housing providers, it's always a struggle to visualize and take on these types of projects when you're constantly trying to make sure you can just cover, the basic operating costs. And so we've been working with a solar consulting group, which specializes in affordable housing, to assess which of our projects can be good candidates for solar panels and how we can creatively finance these projects on limited resources. Ultimately, we identified 3 projects totaling 7 buildings, which we plan to begin solar construction in early 23. The projects are going to be financed through a number of sources and incentives, including the New York City property tax credit for eligible solar projects, New York State incentives through NYSERDA, as well as federal tax credits, which were included in the recently passed Inflation Reduction Act, which now allows nonprofit ownership structures to qualify for a fully refundable tax rebate, which we were previously ineligible for based on our 501c3 status. This rebate in our case is going to cover nearly 40% of the project costs, and that's only because they're regulated affordable and in low-income communities, and that's really a game changer for us. All 3 of these projects will be nearly 100% financed through incentives and refundable tax credits, and each have a payback period anywhere from 3 to 6 years. There is likely going to be some short-term funding needed, which is going to be provided by the UNHP Green Loan Fund. Once that payback period is over, these new panels are going to produce nearly enough energy to power the lights in the public areas, inside and outside, superintendent apartments, laundry, community rooms, and really free up those funds for other operating needs, which, as I mentioned, are constantly increasing. When it comes to incorporating energy efficiency measures into affordable housing, oftentimes the cost of these measures can be prohibitive. That's why we constantly stress the importance of incentives and matching programs to elected officials at all levels of government. One program which nearly every single one of our buildings has benefited from at some point or another is the Weatherization Assistance Program. For the past year, we've actually been assisting Edison Arms HDFC, a 70-unit senior housing project on Decatur Avenue, navigate and implement a full energy retrofit being performed by the Northwest Bronx Community and Clergy Coalition. The project is managed by Rose Hill Management, who also manages Rose Hill Apartments, a 120-unit project on the outskirts of Fordham University. Both Rose Hill and Edison Arms were originally developed by Fordham University, and shout out to our longtime board member, Joe Mariana, who is I saw on the call somewhere. And then and these projects serve low-income senior population here in the Bronx, and operate off of HAP contracts with HUD, which are fixed amounts. So the difference between Rose Hill and Edison Arms is that Rose Hill was rehabilitated in 2007, and so among other things, it was able to, receive upgraded lighting and windows and boilers and refrigerators, where Edison Arms is largely original to its 1991 construction. And when operating on fixed rents, it's very hard to pay for 30 years of improvements to be brought to current standards. And so over the last 10 years, we've seen prices of repairs, utilities, insurance, and water increase at this incredible rate. And programs like Weatherization and others like it really allow housing providers to improve building systems and tenant quality of life without passing that cost along to tenants, which is really important to us. The Weatherization program retrofit included complete boiler replacement, windows, refrigerators, LED lighting, exhaust fans, smoke and CO detectors, and much more. Edison Arms was required to cover a portion of the retrofit, with Weatherization covering the rest. And not only do these types of energy efficiency improvements reduce the carbon footprint of the building, but they also improve the quality of life for tenants. And additionally, they free up, income on a monthly basis to cover these rising insurance and water costs that we've been talking about. Next, we are going to be showing a brief video that our summer intern from Fordham University, Samantha Sayre, has worked very hard on. In the video, you're going to hear from Claire Benitez, the property manager at Rose Hill Management. Claire oversees both Edison Arms and Rose Hill Apartments. She's been with the organization for over 10 years and really knows these projects very well. She's always working towards improving the two properties and always make sure that the tenants' priorities are number one. You're also going to hear from Altagracia Consuegra. Altagracia is the resident social worker at Edison Arms. She was not only vital to the vetting process and applying for weatherization funds, but really resident communications and making sure that tenants felt a part of the process as both the building systems and their individual apartments were improved. So as you'll be able to see, Altagracia truly cares about her residents, and that goes both ways. Lastly, while we thank some of our generous sponsors, you will get to hear from Maisie, a longtime Edison Arms resident, and she's going to perform a song which she once performed with Johnny Cash. So with that, I will ask Sam to put on the video.
Oops. So while Sam gets that up and running, feel free to use emojis. I see some coming in or typing in the chat, guys. So doesn't have to be so quiet. Thank you, Heather.
So my name is Claire Benitez. I am the property manager for Rose Hill Housing Management, and we manage 2 low-income senior citizen housing projects in the Bronx. UNHP has always been a valuable a friend and partner at both locations. For years, UNHP came to Rose Hill Apartments and Edison Arms Apartments and did tax-free tax days for us. During the pandemic, we managed to create a system that would allow us to still collect documents from tenants, and then they were processed by Jumelia over at UNHP, which was wonderful for the tenants. They didn't lose those services because UNHP was able to adapt. It was great. The other program that UNHP has been very valuable in, recently Edison Arms was selected by the Northwest Bronx Community and Clergy Coalition to take part in the Weatherization Assistance Program. Edison Arms was built in the early and mid 90s. It has remained largely original. Its roof is original, its boiler is original, and the weatherization program allowed for large changes to be made to some of those systems. When I knew that this large project was coming, I reached out to Jim Buckley and Brendan Mitchell over at UNHP, and I requested they bring their expertise and knowledge to the changes that were coming. And they were wonderful throughout the whole process, very attentive, and they brought their expertise to the many changes, especially with the boilers and the windows and the lights and everything that was coming. And it was great to partner with them throughout that process.
Hi, my name is Altagracia Consuegra. I am the Social Service Coordinator at Edison Arms. I have plenty of things that I do here, and I really love what I do. If I provide you a list of the things that I do, they are a lot. So the first thing I do is coordinate social events. Every trend topic that we have that benefit the seniors, we always celebrate Father's and Mother's Day together. We do many activities in the summertime to bring our community together. I also do my social work tasks. They include paperwork, connect them with the resources that are available in the community, try to make sure that they schedule the doctor's appointment on time, make sure that the family visit them. This is the most important thing. They are here, but they are not alone. They are family here. It's not only neighbors. They are really considered themselves family.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Maisie Robertson, WWA and Women 70, and CBS and NBC. Please help me, I'm falling in love with you. Close the door to temptation. Don't let me walk through. For I mustn't want you, but darling I do. Please help me, I'm falling in love with you. Please help me, I'm falling, and let it be a sin. Close the door to temptation. Don't let me walk in. For I mustn't want you, but darling I do. Please help me, I'm falling in love with you.
Oh,
Beautiful. That was